So good afternoon, everyone. My name is Tamno Siki, simply Siki. Um, so if you are sitting for November diets examinations and you are taking FM, that's financial management or strategic financial management, this class will be good for you because we are taking off assuming zero knowledge, zero knowledge. So it will be good for me to start from the very foundation, which is what is financial management. There are certain concepts we actually take for granted. Maybe we've heard them and repeated them. They become cliches, but we don't quite understand what they actually mean. So look around your home. You have finances, you manage them. Your office where you work, you have finance, you manage them. Maybe someone can actually assign a business to you and say, manage this business. And in the course of managing the business, of course, you manage finance. So what does it connote? There are three simple things that you should remember when you are talking about financial management. One is financing or funding. Financing. The second is investing. And the third is appropriating. In fact, these are the three functions that constitute financial management. So when we say financial management, we are thinking or talking about either for the household or the business or an individual. How do you raise money? How do you finance your operations, your personal operations, your projects? That's the first thing, financing. That's why I said alternatively, you can say funding. That's the first thing. The second is investing. Where do you deploy your funds to? Like you have money, fine. But then if you are not using that money, what do you do with that money? Where do you keep it in order to yield more? So that is the second element contained in this financial management concept. The third is appropriating. If I have 100 naira today, maybe I deployed it into something else and it was able to generate 10 naira, that is 10%. That extra 10 naira, how do I deploy it? Assuming that 10 naira originally belonged to myself and maybe a friend, how do we appropriate it? Is he taking 5 naira and I am taking 5 naira, which means we are taking it all? Or are we just maintaining part of it, which is called the retained earnings? So let's keep 4 naira and share 6 naira between us, 3 naira, 3 naira. How do we appropriate it? That is the third part. So financial management as a concept revolves around how an organization finances its operations, how it invests, and how it appropriates the returns on the investment. As regards which one comes first, it depends on the individual, because some persons actually create an investment opportunities in their head first, then they begin to finance, look for money on how to fund that investment opportunity. Then when the return starts coming in, they appropriate based on their arrangement or agreement. Others will wait, maybe some windfall, as we, for instance, as we know our country to be, we can just wait for one windfall. When it comes, we begin to think of what to do with it. If we are not able to think well about it, we'll squander it and wait for the next one to come, because we don't plan investments, and our expenditures are not fueled majorly by investment plans. So the hierarchy or the chronology depends on the individual. So which one comes first isn't actually based on what we find, but based on the organization. So there are actually some funding organizations, there are some investing organizations, financing organizations are looking for where. But another thing you need to also know that somebody's financing is another man's investing. So somebody's financing decision is another person's investing decision. So for instance, if you walk up to a bank, you are looking for facility. So you want to finance your operations. So you want to finance an investment outlay. So the bank, they are investing their money in you because they are expecting return, while you are expecting profit from where you deploy that money. To them it is an investment. So that is it about this. So having understood this, the next for us is to understand capital budgeting. I want us to talk about capital budgeting because going by ICANN's study pack or their syllabus, first thing you should understand is investment appraisal, which is under capital budgeting. So capital budgeting. So under capital budgeting, we are thinking about investing. This investing element is what we are looking at. So we are looking at investing under capital budgeting, investing. The question is, what then does capital budgeting connote? I have a family, and there are certain expenditures that we brought forward as routine expenditure. And when I look at the amount, I say, this one a capital budget too. So what do I really mean by this one a capital budget too? First, under capital budget or in capital budgeting, the financial outlay is usually huge. So if, for instance, an organization is planning to build another facility, acquire heavy equipment and plants, these involve huge capital outlay, one time non-routine expenditure. So they are capital in nature, non-routine. They are not things that are frequent, monthly, weekly basis, like rent, like salaries, like electricity bill and all that. So these are capital, so they are long-term in nature. They involve huge capital outlay. They are not easily reversible, or they are reversed at huge cost on the organization. Just imagine Dangote saying that after going 90% or 95% of its refinery, and you realize that, for one reason or the other, I may not be able to continue with this. You can imagine the colossal loss that will be to Dangote. So that's what capital budget implies. So it means that for someone to delve into capital budget related expenditure, the person needs to critically appraise it. So we come down to ICANN's or investment appraisal. Investment appraisal. So under capital budgeting, there must be investment appraisal. Some actually interchange these two, capital budgeting, investment appraisal. So under capital budgeting, there must be investment appraisal because you need to appraise every investment you are deploying your funds to, especially when these funds, when these expenditures will be huge, they will be for a long term, they cannot be reversed, or when they are considered to be reversed, then a huge loss will be on the organization. So that's it, we need to appraise. Now there are two essential or notable appraisal techniques. One is the non-discounting or discounted technique. The next is the technique that considers discounting. So we have the non-discounting techniques and discounting techniques. Today we are talking about the non-discounting techniques, and of the non-discounting techniques we have two. Non-discounting techniques we have two. Let's say non-discounting techniques we have two essentially, which are one, the payback period, and two, accounting rate of return. I'm sure you've heard this. Payback period and accounting rate of return. So, so um, first, let me just say this. These are considered to be non-discounting because we don't discount. And when you are discounting, you are considering the time value of money. We believe that 1 naira today cannot be 1 naira tomorrow. That 1 naira today is worth more than 1 naira tomorrow. 1 naira today is more valuable than 1 naira today tomorrow, because what you are likely to buy with 1 naira today, you may not find that. It will take you more tomorrow to buy that same thing. So if you are able to buy this for 1 naira today, you go to the market tomorrow to buy this same marker, you may spend 1 naira 50 kobo. So this same marker, over time, it is losing value. So it is taking more of more naira to get this same marker. So that's it. So under non-discounting technique, we are not considering the time value of money. We are only considering the nominal value. Nominal value, that is the face value. How many naira? How much in terms of naira? So that's what we are considering when we make reference to non-discounting techniques. And I say we have two, which are the payback period and the accounting rate of return. What's the payback period like? So under payback period, the decision criteria is how soon will I recoup my investment? I'm not interested in any other thing. How soon? If I'm able to give somebody 500,000 naira for a business today, how soon? Where payback period is the criteria, if we have 2 or 3 investment outlays, let's say A, B, and C, and one says it will make me recover my money in 2 years, another person says it will make me recover my money in 3 years, another person says it will make me recover my money in 2.5 years, all of them in years. As far as this criteria or this condition is concerned, I am advancing my funds to A, because it will make me recover my money at the earliest possible time, which is 2 years, shortest possible time, which is 2 years. That's my interest. Even if this person tells me that after recovering my 500,000, he will add another, this person will say, oh, I'll give you 1 million. I'll give you 1 million, but you have 500, I'll give it to you in 2.5 years. The B may tell me he will give me 1.2 million, but he will provide my first 500, the money I invested, after the first 3 years. A may tell me he will give me 600,000, but he will make sure that I recover my 500,000 after the first 2 years. As far as this criteria of payback period, as far as this method, is concerned, this investments, this money will be advanced to A, or A will be the chosen investment outlay to consider, because we are recovering our money in 2 years. If we invest in A, or if we give this money to A, we'll be able to recover our money, regardless the fact that we will have, for instance, here we'll have 700 naira more, here we'll have 500,000 more, but that is not our business. Here we are just getting a paltry sum of 100k more. That is not our business. Our interest is how soon. That is it about this. So I think I'll just take a question on this to just elaborate. Payback period. I'll take a question on this to just elaborate. This question will be shared. So if you are interested, just do me a hi and request the question, and I'll send it to you on WhatsApp. I'm sure you guys are conversant with my number 007-266-9622. So you do that, and I'll forward the question to you. This is, so let me just read the question out. So we have a company, an investment of 200,000 naira is expected to generate the following cash inflows in 6 years. 200,000 is expected to generate the following cash flows in 6 years. Year one, 70,000, year two, 60,000, year three, 55, year four, 40, year five, 30, year six, 25,000. Compute the payback period of the investment. So we are expected to compute the payback period of the investment. And also decide if this investment should be made, if management wants to recover this money in 3 years. So here it's just one investment, and the management has set a benchmark that regardless the outlay, whenever we invest money, we want to recover the money we invest in 3 years. So this 200,000 naira that is projected, we also want to recover it in 3 years. That is it. So if this project, for instance, if the solution in the solution, this project, the 200,000 cannot be recovered within 3 years, we will not take this investment. However, if we will recover this money not later than 3 years, it means that we will undertake this project. So, excuse me. So let's have it done. So for PB, payback period, PBP, you always use tables. It's better to present it in tables. It's not like it's mandatory, but then it's always better to present your solutions in tables. First, you have a column for the year. So years, we have the cash inflows or cash flows generally. Then we have the cumulative amounts. Years, cash flows, cumulative amounts. So different persons have different schedules for it anyways. We can do it one way and do it another way and do it another way. So let's take one first. Let's say year zero. Year zero is the year the funding is taking place. So cash flow is an outflow. We have 200,000 in naira. 200,000. This is 200,000, right, as balance. Year one, we said there will be an inflow of 70,000 naira. So we have 70,000 as the cash flow. Inflow in bracket means negative. So this is an inflow. Whenever you see bracket, a figure, an amount in bracket, you know that's an outflow. So we already have received 70,000. So 70, this minus 70,000 will give us 130,000. So we still have to recoup 130,000. In year two, we are given 60,000. 60,000. It means that what is left of us, oh, sorry, let me make this balance. So the balance, some will actually have cumulative. Let me not go with cumulative. So balance. So we have how much? 70,000 left to recover. In the third year, we are giving 55,000 naira. So this will leave us with balance of 15,000. Well, this clearly already this is clear enough to show that we will not accept this project. Why are we not accepting this project? Because our projection is that in 3 years we will recover our investment, and in 3 years you can see what we have contributed. What we've got so far is 70 plus this, which is 130. 130 plus this is 185. So we are yet to receive 15,000 naira, and it's already 3 years, so this will not go. But let's just get the payback period. Certainly, in the fourth year, the question says that in the first year, there will be cash inflow of 40,000. Now, I'll put asterisk on 40,000. Our interest is not this 40,000, but the component of this 40,000 on this 40,000 that will make us recover our 200,000. And what's that component? It's 15. So how soon are we getting this 15,000? So 1, 2, 3 years and a fraction. How do we get that fraction? That fraction will be this amount required for us to make up the 200,000 over this amount that we are getting in this year where we are recovering that 200,000. So it will be equal to 15 all over 15, that is in thousand, all over 40,000 times, let's get it done in months, times 12 times 12. So you can punch your calculators. 15 over 40 times 12. I'm working with my calculator here to also get it. 15 over 30. Yeah, 15 over okay, so I'm actually having issues even opening my okay, 15 over, so that is 15 over 30 times, if it's times 1 is 3.750 times 12. Oh, let's use my laptop. Please, can you help me? 15 over 40 times 12. 15. Okay, 15. I can now press my 4 point. Okay, so that is 4.5. This, remember, this 12 is months. So 4.5 months. 4.5 months will mean 4 months and 2 4 months, 2 weeks. That is this fraction. So generally the payback period is 3 years, 1, 2, 3 years, then 4 months, 2 weeks. That is the exact time it will take to recover this money. 3 years, 4 months, 2 weeks. But to simplify it, for me, I love working it in terms of years, months, and weeks. That's always the way I love going about it. But you find this in general textbooks and other platforms. What you likely see will be 3 years, 3 years plus 15 all over 40. That is 40,000. And that will give you equal to 3.375 years. 0.375 years is the same thing as 4 months and 2 weeks. That's what it connotes. So this is it going by payback period. Now, going by payback period, invariably it implies that this organization will not undertake this project because the organization has already had its intention made clear from the beginning that for it, whatever investment is deploying its funds to, it must be recouped within 3 years, and this is exceeding 3 years. So this project will be rejected according to the criteria, which is 3 years. The next is uh, ARR, accounting rate of return. Quickly, accounting rate of return isn't a difficult thing. It's, in fact, one of the easiest. I think I even consider it easier than this because under accounting, okay, under accounting rate of return, all you need to do is what is the profit over what is the investment. What is the investment? What is the profit? What is the investment? So here we are not just considering cash flows, which means if you have in the examination or in an examination situation, you may be given revenue and other elements for you to determine the profit. Your interest is profit, accounting profit. Why? Because cash flows are quite different from profit. Because under cash flows, you don't consider things like depreciation. But when you are considering profit, you can consider depreciation. So the accounting profit all over the initial investment times 100/1 because it is rate, accounting rate of return. So if, for instance, an organization is into business and at the end of the day, they make profits of, let's say, 50,000 naira, this is their profit. And or let's assume that an organization wants to invest. The investment will cost them 1 million naira. This is what they will invest, 1 million naira. And they projected that if they make this investment in year one, they will make 50,000 profit. In year two, let's say 60,000. In year three, let's say 70,000. After which the project will come to a conclusion. So in a situation like this, what you take is the average profit, not just accounting profit, but the average profit. So the average here quite clearly is this will be total 180,000. This is the total. And average, as we know, is the total divided by the frequency. So we have divided by the number. So we have 180,000 divided by 3 because we have 3 years. This will be 60,000 being the accounting profit. Average, so this is the accounting profit on the average. So average accounting profit 60,000 naira. So it can also be the average, assuming it's not 1 year. You have average profit. However, if it's 1 year, just the profit. So their ARR will be the average profit in this context, 60,000 naira all over the initial investment of 1 million times 100/1. This is 6/100 times 100. So this is as good as 100 cancelling 100. This is equal to 6%. So the ARR, the accounting rate of return, if you invest 1 million, given that you have 50, 60, 70, the rate will actually be 6%. In my next video, I'll take more comprehensive questions on this. But just if you are comfortable with this, do me a hi to my number 007-266-9622, and I'll send you the question to the first one, which is payback period. Thank you so much.